So welcome back to another episode of the No Name Podcast. You're now locked in, tuned into the one and only J, Uncle Juju St. Paul. And who do I have with me in the building?
You got the ish, and that's all you get from me.
Nice, short, sweet, as per usual, to the point. And we are joined today by the one and only. I do this for all my guests because there is only one and only of you, the great Frank LaFunk.
Yes,
Give it up.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So how you doing today, King, man?
Doing tired, but also doing good. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Feels like things are kind of falling into place, and like the work rate is decent.
Good to hear, man. For real. Just getting them projects to us, man. Blessing us with them good vibes and vibrations. You gotta love it. So
trying to, man.
Right. So before we get into the crux of your work and such, what I like to do is to let the world kind of know a little bit more about yourself. So what was life like for the young Frank LaFunk? What was it like growing up, dog?
Exciting. I would say, like, looking back on it from a retrospective standpoint, obviously, you know, because grew up in Carribean, Virgin Islands, VI salute, you know. Hey, trata. So like, for me, growing up back then, like the being able to catch your own fish, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a reef, like I could run from my beach, so from my house to the beach in under a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like any island boy life would be, I suppose.
Okay,
You know,
so what would you say is the major differences of life coming from the Virgin Islands, and then I believe you moved obviously to the States, and now you're here to the UK. So how would you contrast the differences?
in a lifestyle, you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And your experience as well. So yeah, make it a meaty question.
Yeah, well, I would say in the Caribbean, that kind of taught me to have, I guess, to be self-sufficient. And you know, like you always have this mentality of, oh, if you don't get paid today, like you can still eat, kind of thing. Saying and it was very community based. Like there's always this saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Where and like it wasn't nothing new to see someone on the road and be like, oh yo, good afternoon, hey, or good morning. So going to the States, that was a huge culture shock. Where you tell someone good morning, they're like, huh? Like what's up? like what you want from me? Yeah, it's like everyone always had their guard up kind of thing. Even though it was a community, I felt it was like more of a cliquey community as opposed to like, yo, we all in this. And I guess moving to the UK as well, like I don't know, throughout my whole life, like every moment or every transition, like I felt that kind of added to my mindset. Now added to the music, you know. So it's a kind of, it's hard to answer that question without waffling on. to be honest.
Waffle up, bro. Waffle, man. This is what it is, man. This is your interview. This is your time, bro.
I appreciate that.
Tell your story.
Hard time because I'm just a guest, man. Let's start back. Let's go say when I was a kid, like, or why I even got into music or art and all kind of stuff. Had a huge speech impediment. Like I couldn't string a sentence along for nothing. Yeah, so but I was always really good at writing. Thanks to Mama OG over here, like she always used to buy like encyclopedia books and whatnot.
Shout out to moms, to Ma Jukes.
For real. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
The camera's all weird. But yeah, so I was always into poetry. I always loved like Pac, you know, like not Pac with like the hit and stuff, but Pac more with, like the poetic, you know. And then I got really into like Jay-Z, like really guys who were just lyrical and double entendres and really thought out process of the song structures and all that kind of stuff. And seeing my boys rap, and just having that speech impediment, me being competitive already, I was like, okay, nah, cool. This is something that I really want to do, and just kept going at it. And yeah, to be honest,
That's dope, man. Because we got something in common. Because when I grew up, I had a stuttering problem too. So kind of talk about that a little bit growing up with a stuttering problem. And that's the one thing is what was my struggle was, in class and like the teacher would say, "Can you read?" And I would read, and then you go, and it's so cruel. So how did you deal with that a little bit as a child, and then, through music, learning music kind of help you build, your confidence? Because I think stuttering comes from the lack of confidence.
100%.
How did you build your confidence overall?
Well, kids were one thing, but I think I developed a tough skin at home because they would roast me at home.
Caribbean families, boy, no chill.
So when I got out, it was like, yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't nothing I haven't heard before. Like, yeah, whatever. And like the thing is with music, and as you could think of with any great speaker who had a speech impediment, like they spoke like there was no tomorrow. So I found a rhythm within my poetry and a song. So like using that, I turned that, and I found a rhythm within my speech as well. So then just kind of made it like really easy to just practice in where you speak and slow down or speed up.
I agree with that because that kind of helped me out too. Because sometimes I catch myself stuttering a little bit.
Yeah.
You have those moments.
Yeah, you do.
Because I tell that to Juju, it's like I tell him a heads up that I might pause because I'm kind of fearing that I'm going to stutter, so I'm going to pause for a moment. But he helps me out a lot. He's like, "Yeah, no, because you're a great thinker. So the reason why I thought you paused because you want to say something impactful."
At least I know that. I only just have the problem of foot and mouth syndrome where I just talk too much. I got this whole thing going on at this particular time as well. So I'm working on it. I mean, the life of a journalist, the presenter.
But I have kinship with you because I found my voice through poetry too, because I write too.
Yeah, okay.
And poetry kind of helped me because it just helped me, create a structure when it comes to writing. And then that structure from writing was the development of reading and being engaged and
100%
stage and feeling comfortable in your own skin with the words that you write. So I can relate to you with that. I just wanted to bring that kinship.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nah, that's solid though. I feel a lot of people need to, or more of us need to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because like just it's one thing to have a fright of being in front of a crowd, but then it's that another thing to hold, I guess you would say, trauma or whatever, or that disadvantage, and then to toss yourself in one of the most vulnerable spaces ever. Like,
definitely takes guts, man. 100%. It's not an easy thing in any way. But even performing, I could say, is not an easy thing to do in any way, shape, or form. I'll never forget the last year for me in my high school, and this is when I was into my rhyming days and rapping days, and I was mainly a freestyler, and because during the time as well there was more garage MCs and grime was now sort of becoming a thing. So for being a UK hip hop artist, it was kind of a commodity because only a certain section of people would actually do that or want to pursue hip hop, because we always associate that with the States.
Right.
And everyone's main dream was, to pop off with hip hop, but shift it over to the States if and when possible. But anyway, so I basically said that I was gonna kind of set myself up just to make sure I would do it. But I convinced my head of year to do a freestyle in front of my whole assembly on our last assembly of our year. And I remember this is when tape. So this goes to show my age a bit. My uncle put together a mixtape of just instrumentals, and I had to find the one that I wanted to just do my thing with. And the way that I secured that with myself was I said to everybody that you could rush me if I don't actually go and do this or I chicken out. And back in them days,
Yeah,
I used
man.
to know, I used to have that with a Donny, so people were waiting. People were actually like saying, "Look, just don't do it, so we can rush you, man. That's all we want to. That's what we want to do." But no, I still went ahead and did it. I remember like being a bit just a bit stuttery at first. You know, you feel all them butterflies. Then I saw like a few girls from a couple of the other, well, we all had like different letters by our groups and such. And there was sort of a few of them kind of laughing, and that's when just something clicked in my head. I was like, yeah, no. So I started putting it into my rhymes. Like, yeah, I'd love to see you come up here and do it. And then there's the other group, just I think it was like L, because I think it was in JKL. They literally whole back line of them, bearing in mind, it's quite funny that from A, it was predominantly the white smart kids. And as soon as you get further down the alphabet, you find it's more the case of what they would call more of our street kids, basically. But just seeing in the back, and like seeing a whole like Kato just like literally all waving their hands side to side and such. It's insane, anyways. But you can't. But like my cousin says as well, you can't. You have to push through it if you're going to present yourself and you're going to do something. Even my first, I was actually watching back my old radio clips. This is back in the West Side, and this is where I met around the times I met you lot back in the University of Richmond in London. And I just remember you're standing in front of a mic. There's no one else in you in the studio. You're thinking like all these tracks you want to play. I was just mainly focused on DJ, but some of them I was just like, yeah, man, you can see I was struggling.
I feel like fever, bro. I really fever for real.
So I shout out to everybody. So shout out to all you performers and such as that do this and put yourselves out there. Because even that right now, the numbers aren't too fantastic. But think about how many people are actually happy to put out a full YouTube video or full social media clip. Even allow other people to read or to hear your poetry or your music. So yeah, just thanks to everything, guys, man. For real, that's all I can say.
Well,
so
showing love, man.
Yeah, always. But let's expand.
I would say for performing, for me, I'd rather perform than if I had to choose, I'd rather perform over than being in the studio. Like when I'm on stage, like I come alive. Like I'm in a whole different zone. Like the butterflies in my stomach help me to fly, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that. Mike, we need to put that on a t-shirt. We might have to do that collab as we are doing now, anyways. The butterflies in my stomach help me to fly. That's actually quite deep. All right. Well, there you go. That's your poetry. It's coming all out. There we have it. I'm
gonna be real. That's a nice little hook.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
That's a serious
That's what we do on a No Name podcast. We do stuff like that.
We groundbreaking in many ways.
So when you come out with that hook, give us that credit.
Oh yeah,
because you heard it here first.
And we got the receipt. We got the receipts as well. We got the receipts. So just say,
I'll put a subliminal in there.
Well, let's expand a little bit more into you and your passion and your love for music. So you've already described how writing helped you with your speech impediment. And then figuring out your rhythm and flow. But where did your love and passion for music come from? And then for you to say, you know what, this is something I want to be involved in.
I think love for music has always kind of been there. Like it's the Caribbean. You know, we have such a wide range of music genre. Like the first music that I could ever recall listening to was country. I mean, old country, like Tammy Wynette, Buck Owens, like Dolly Parton, old country. My uncles, like they were like these old head Caribbean, thought they were cowboys kind of thing. So he used to have these 18-inch Alpine speakers, bro, just blasting country music in the morning. Like yeah, so I would say love music came from Caribbean and also just having like a musical family. Not everyone, but like as you said, like once you're in the Caribbean, you will touch an instrument at some point. Like there's no way you're never gonna touch an instrument in the Caribbean. Either you're playing the steel pan, you're drumming, the saxophone, the bass, the guitar, like even a triangle, bro, or a can or something. Like you're doing something, you know. But with rapping, I would say that sort of just being around my homies, my friends, and like we just grew up in that old 90s, go early 2000 era. And also the love really came when I entered this freestyle battle that we had in our school called Lecture Room 2 Freestyle. And I once I was either in first or second year. And like at that point, like no one really knew me on the block at all. And there was this one crew, I forgot what their name was, but the top guy was like Jigga. And like they run the show. Only people that knew me knew that I stuttered. They didn't know that I yeah, that's all they knew about me. They didn't know that this King Ultimate kid I stuttered. Like they knew nothing else. And so we was in this room, it's like a lecture room just filled with kids. It's the rampacked with kids. There's kids outside and everything as well. And they're charging at the door. So yeah.
Hustle.
Right? You get me? The first place got $50 as well. And long story short, the first guy that came up, he knew me, but he didn't really know and did music. They started the beat, washed him. Crowd went absolutely stupid. Right? There was like 3 of them. I watched the whole crew until the top Donnie, who heard about the stutter kid, is ripping his whole squad downstairs. So he came down. He came out as well. It's like he wasn't even supposed to be in the whole competition. So dude came in. He started rapping something, and I remember the bars that I spit in specifically. There was 2 versions of one I didn't use because it was a written. But I was, because his name was Jigga, and one of my homies gave me a line. So I was like, Jigga, nigga, you don't want this, dog, you don't want to pop off. You're not a Rockefeller suit. You're a thread that dropped off.
Ooh,
So I was like, nah, that's written. That's written. So I was like, just looking at him, seeing what I could pick apart. And he had a mole, bro, right here. Yeah, huge mole right there. And I can't remember what the exact words are, but I just remember like the premise. So I'll try like make it up. And I was like, Holy Ghost, get the toast. You get high today, like F a scope. I'll scope that mole from a mile away. You know, so yeah, so.
Wait, battle days.
Yeah. But yeah, just winning that allowed me to the confidence to go on and I like this. I like this battling thing. It's cool. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean that's something I do miss when I was. It mainly happened in college, to be honest with you, because that's when you had rappers, and battle rap was now becoming a really known thing, and literally having like a whole canteen or cafeteria, and on people's lunch breaks and whatever, and just being in a circle. I used to know a guy called Joey who used to beatbox as well. It was pretty decent. I just had him back kicking beatbox as well. So we used to freestyle or kind of battling. It's never too great with the battling because I didn't know how far I could take it, because I know how people like to fight during these things, and I don't want to be taken. I'm not saying I can't handle myself, but I'll probably be getting into so many fights with some of the madness I would have got away with. There ain't no question of a doubt behind that at all. No chill.
Battles, bro. Ain't no looking war.
Bro, people get beaten up for less, man. Let's just be honest, man.
They shouldn't be battle rapping. Like if you can't take it, this you shouldn't be battle rapping. Like that's point.
And to be 100%, a lot of rappers are very sensitive. So there's certain things you can talk about in a battle, and there's certain things you can't. But they're real sensitive. Like especially that dude with the mole. You know his feelings.
He was hurt. Yeah,
he probably don't rap ever again.
He's like, I came all the way downstairs for this.
You just had a big moment, because remember when Big in his line, he's like Kwame and the fuck the polka dots, and then after that,
I made a wrong decision.
Maybe I shouldn't be leading these people. I need to double check myself. I need to double check my career choices.
Right.
I'm not sure I made the right one.
Your name's Jigga. Like, there's already a Jigga. Like, come on. What do we do?
Well, that being said, I used to one of the names I used to go by for a little bit was the Guru at one point. So I can't really say much myself, man, for real. But then there's already Guru from Gangstar. So, but then
Guru is like that's like a well-known term though. That's not someone like that specific person is the Guru. You're just a Guru. But Jigga, like who else do you know that's named Jigga? Like that the word only associates with Hove.
Yeah. Or I could be wrong. Pokemon, right? Jigglypuff. Never mind.
my man bridged in Pokemon with Jigga. Oh no, that's there's a Jiggamon, right? There's a Jiggamon. Or Jiggaboo-mon. Is it Jiggaboo-mon? I swear it's another Jigglypuff.
That's funny.
The most racist Pokemon of them all. And you know what the worst thing is? You got to catch them all as well. So that just makes it so much worse. I think we might be onto a skit that's going to pee off a lot of people. His
superpower is like very sharpened watermelon slices.
Oh my word! All out there playing Fruit Ninja just for fun and practice.
But didn't Jigglypuff have a mic and start singing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she did. Actually. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I think somehow we've found out Pokemon was racist. Don't ask me how we got there.
Bro. Yo, look at Jinx.
Right.
I was like, Jinx is worse now. I'm sorry, Jinx is bad. Jinx is bad. No, I'm not gonna lie. Jinx, yeah, no, for real. No, Jinx is bad. And then Brock, you don't know if he's just like a tan Mediterranean person or someone who's light skinned.
He never opened his eyes once, ever.
Yeah. It's like this is confusing. Like, huh? I think that's maybe because he was high all the time. I mean, he's always talking about, he loves his rock Pokemon, innit? Stay off the rocks, Brock. Stay off the rocks, Brock.
Man, the man just stone, man, living a stone life,
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you've now done your battle. You've now battled. It's giving you your confidence to now pursue a career in music. So what's that journey been like for yourself? Like from the time you've recorded your first track to where we are now?
I would say thank God that I progressed. That's what I say. Yeah, thank God that I progressed. I've listened to some old tracks and just cringe, like, oh shit, you'll never seen the light of day ever. It's go in the vault. I don't care if I lose a key. But it's been up and down, but it's been a lesson. I say it's been a lot of life lessons. To even like getting my first standing ovation at 16, like going on tour for 4 months with my band, traveling Europe. It's been a lot of, I would say, heartaches kind of. Yeah, because artists are sensitive. I don't know, man. I would say that I don't want it to stop, because everything that I've learned, music has kind of been like a therapy session. Like the songs that I don't release, I just write down. Those are things I can really like just get on paper, but not for anyone to see. So I would say it's been a journey mostly in that sense, like being able to track your life through moments in time where you spat something like, oh snap, I was thinking that at this point, to even be like a certain smell or nostalgic feeling, or people that were around you at that point, that you kind of have like your own personal timestamp where you can go back and look at your life and your progression and see where you are now from back then.
That's dope. And yeah, you can't just go and skip over 4 months touring in Europe with a band. So not only do you have a band, which isn't your regular kind of vibe, which then does tie into the Caribbean lifestyle. So to anyone who doesn't know, bands are a big thing out there. And like you said, you touching an instrument regardless in some way, shape or form. Yeah, expand on your European journey, man. For real.
Oh man, that was insane. That was insane. Nothing went to plan. Like, like nothing went to plan, but that made it even more exciting because we had to be creative and innovative like every day. Like there were times where we didn't even have any money, so we were busking to like just gain money, something to eat. Yeah, like on the streets, like in Spain and stuff, just playing music. But I'll backtrack a bit to when we first got there, first got in Europe, and we had a show literally the night before, and we got paid for that. Then we drove to down to like Dover, sorry, and we was going to Calais, and we're supposed to be in two vans. But one of my boy, he was at Glasgow, lost his car, his car keys. So it's like he couldn't. Yeah. So what ended up happening was me and the other guy who's supposed to be in his van had to go and buy another foot passage ticket. It's like, are you serious? Yeah. So we were like woken up at again 5 o'clock in the morning, hanging, bro, hanging, mouth dry, tired, head pounding, and you gotta rush to go and get this bars and shit. Like, oh my god, why? Who signs up for this? And but the journey there was cool. We met this one German lady who was like teaching and stuff, and she decided to just quit her job and just travel, and just talking about her life and things that she's done. And I was like, yo, it's man, like she's writing a book as well. Like, this is cool. And when we got to Calais, because the van had already left, so me and my boy Craig, sick guitarist as well, playing the trumpets. So we're now walking out of Calais and we're heading towards the van bit. So the van drives down. We drive into the van. We start driving. Didn't even make it 50 yards, bro. Calais police comes up. Horns on, lights on. Pull over. Get over now. Get over. Pull over. So we pull over in the car, bro. They come out guns open.
Wow.
Yeah. They come out guns tooted and booted, bro. They like they were ready. Ask us, where the drugs? Who you guys smuggling? So they checked like all our stuff. One dude just kept his eye on me directly, bro. Like he looked like he had a shotgun facing downwards as well too. He looked like one of those dudes that got bullied as a kid. I was like, oh man, bro. It's like, it was, yeah.
Bro, but real fast, did you have like a 5 heartbeat moment? Because remember the film 5 Heartbeat when the cops stopped them and it's like, yo, we're a band.
Beautiful film, by the way.
Like, sing. So did they have you like sing or rap?
Nah. Thank God. Thank God. But like that actually saved us. Wow. So yeah. So we was like, look, we're just musicians. We're not even stopping here. Like we're just it's not our fault that the port is in Calais. Okay, we're just trying to get to point B. Like that's what's only transition point. But they had us out there for like half hours searching everything, bro. Everything. I passed him my passport and he's looking at me, hearing the accent and looking at my British passport and then hearing the accent and he's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's me.
You lying.
You're right. But thank God, like, I feel if the instruments weren't there, they would have had us for however long they could have us, and the fact that we had our passports or whatever. But like, yeah, man, it was scary. One of the captain, like one of his associates, tried to unclip his holster just to kind of have like a power stance. So yeah. Like, why, bro? Like, no one here got guns. Like, why you need to unclip your holster for? Like, Donnie already got a shotgun staring me down. We don't need another gun. Like, come on. Like, what the hell? It's just weird, man. But yeah, that was the beginning of our journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the beginning to a film if I've ever heard one, man. For real. That's crazy. But it goes to show, it's like whenever guns and power trips don't mix well at all.
Nah.
Like at all. But that's at least you can laugh about it now. I mean, you know, we do laugh it off, but I mean, it does tap into a lot of things that we've been pressing on about for a long time in a case of how we're represented or we're so easily judged. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, they do rest their own, but I guess it's just maybe we see and feel the temperament's just a little bit different, and that's something that hasn't changed.
Definitely temperament.
And it's a good thing. It's a good thing you said that, because a lot of people put emphasis on the States, but that happens abroad too. So
yeah, man.
That up.
It's a global struggle. Well, just with the interview that y'all had with Kicks, like he even made the point. If you look at all these activists in their later life, or even at some point, they left the States. They left to go and help in other places that were going through the exact same thing. It's a global struggle. That's why every Black person, we relate to each other, or every person of minority. Minority. I hate using that word because in Africa we're not the minority, we're the majority. You know.
Globally, we're not the minority either, but
yeah. But like that, I feel that's why we relate on such a large scale, because at some point you will feel oppressed. At some point, someone will hold you to a certain stereotype that they probably will propagate it themselves in the media. You know, so like y'all go through the same things, just in different outlets.
So true. So true. Sad, but so true on so many levels. Well, what about some happier tales then? So what are your sort of favorite places that you played in Europe? And if you got any like kind of other fun stories?
Yeah. The busking bit. So we stayed in this place called not stayed. We busted this place called El Boyne, and I'll try to paint a picture. You walk down this alley, and it's like a not cobble but tiled, right? It's like tiled. Like it's like essential for dancing, I would say. And there's this huge wall just in the back, and over that wall, on top of the wall, there's like this arch, and about 4 of them that has a lit fire on each end of the arch. And then as you go in, and on your right, there's just like kind of like an auditorium in a sense, like in the way it's shaped, but it's just apartment buildings, and the acoustics is just crazy, absolutely crazy. And it was me, the other band, me, Kiwi, Pips, Jake, Harry, and I want to say Craig was there as well. And when we started, there was like 5 people there, bro. And by the end of it, there was just like at least 30 people just congregating around us, dancing in the streets to our music. You know, they didn't know us from nothing. Some of them don't even speak English that well. You know, and I remember I was singing this one song that we had called C'est la vie, and and then there was this guy that came up literally right next to me whilst I was singing, and he kept coming really close. So I was like, okay, either he really likes this song or he really likes me. But either way, I'm trying to perform. So I said, the song is like a love, with a heartbreak / love song, you know. And after it, like I was talking to his friend, and his friend was like apologizing. He's like, "Yo, sorry, man. We knew you guys were performing, but my friend, like, he literally just went up. He just went through what you were talking about." And he was like, that really resonated, and it's like, oh, that makes sense. You know, and just to have someone to react to your music in a way that like just shook him, you know, that he just had to come next and be right next to the music, you know. And like I'll add to that same point, and this is another point as well. When we went to Oktoberfest and we performed, this was like the last ending of the tour, and it's the same song as well. And I'm going through a song, I'm closing my eyes, and like the band, we just hit like a zone. I open my eyes and people are literally crying.
Wow.
Yeah, like crying. I was like, that's insane. You know, to see someone be moved by something that you created, like with the group, and like they resonated with them so much that it moved them to tears. Like that was surreal. That was one of the best experiences, I'd say.
Talking about your influence in your music in Caribbean, can you talk about that block party feeling. Did you bring that to the tour? Because I know that's a big thing in the Caribbean is the block.
Yeah, in a sense, because
it's not really block parties though, is it? More so than it's just a post up and jam, isn't it? It's more like liming with sound.
That's funny. But yeah, pretty much like most besides the actual tour that we was at, because it's this organization called Stoke Travel. So we were traveling with them for the most part, but we still branched off on our own to like make money here and there as well. But I would say the block party aspect came about in the after shows, like in the green rooms. Boy, oh my God. There was this one jam that it was like said I need more Lord. I said I need more Lord. And like it was about 15 different artists in there. Everyone having one dude was on a bucket. He's on a bucket. You know, like some other guy is on his like acoustic bass, acoustic guitar. One guy was just on the cajon as well. Someone is banging on the side of the green room because it was in a trailer. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning. Everyone is just performed. We're amped as hell because we just like literally smashed it. You know, so this is like after the 4 like months that we've been like together as well. So everyone just in this sweaty trailer and just loud music, and it was just like this whole movement of different cultures and different styles of music all just clashing into one. So I would say in that aspect, that's where the like the jam sessions kind of came about the most. Yeah, that was wild. That energy was absolutely wild.
That's dope because
That's crazy.
so that's important because especially with the sound and the rhythm, you may not know what the person's saying, but when you hear it, you'll start jamming to it.
Yeah,
Prime
man.
example is Elvis Crespo Suavemente. People probably don't know what Suavemente what it means, but when they hear it, they're like,
yeah, they're moving. Yeah, 100%. The music hits differently, man. Music. I always had this thought, like, imagine a world without music.
Yeah.
Like I can't even try to paint that picture. Like there's no possible way.
I wouldn't even want to paint that picture. And you know what? And that's kind of just hit me on a very depressive tip of actually even having to consider a life without music. I literally just had a flash, and it's like them films, where it's just like all in monotone, just black, white, and gray. Color just feels, and it's not even like one of those cool French chic modern art kind of deco film. It's just dull. I know some people would like it like that, but no, you can burn in hell. I hope they die, and I hope they burn in hell. Right, the way I look at that.
So, for real, for like, how would you even try to begin? Like anything, random tangent. But I was talking to a friend of mine, and was saying that music industry is going down the drain. I'm like, not per se, like artists, that aspect of it maybe, but when you think about movies, games, jingles for adverts, like the music industry is vast, yo. Like it ain't just artists making money. Like this, artists are more what you see because that's the glamour. And that's a car, but ain't nobody else seeing all the little mechanism within the car that still help the car to run.
Right. And I think the big discussion right now is how are artists able to find a way to monetize their music? Because the way music is consumed is different over generations. You had the vinyl, Betamax, whatever, cassette tapes, CDs. Now things are streaming. Now you have.
I haven't seen a CD in so long.
Yeah, so it changes, and so you have technology and music on both sides, and so you have the artists in the middle, and a lot of them know it's just to make music, but at the same time they have to learn the business and how do they get 100% or a good chunk of the profit from the music they make. You know what I mean? So that's where I think the dynamic is when it comes to music and monetization of it.
I feel that, and that's so essential as well too, because when people, they often separate music from the business, but there's a reason why those words are put together as a compound word or term, sorry. And and I would say, if you don't have the time to figure out the business side of it, get someone that you trust, that who has a business mind ahead. So then you could worry about being creative, and then they could worry about other creative things, but like it's different type of creation, like it's different hats. So that's what I'm doing with with Eric, because Eric has that, like he has that really business mindset. Like super really good in researching and break things down, and so like it's a lot easier now having people on the team who's like, nah, I'll handle this, you handle this, But in regards to making money, follow technology, yo. Don't be one of these guys. I remember this is like 6 years ago. Some dude tried to hand me a CD. I'm like, bruh, listen, right? He's like one of those old school cats. I was like, nah, man, I'm staying true to the game, man. I'm like, all right, cool, but there's a reason why we don't ride donkeys no more, bro.
Well, they do. So we're not taking away for people who do still you ride your donkeys and such. But yes, you're right.
City, in a city,
yeah,
you're not riding a donkey in the city.
I know,
bro.
That's what I don't know how much truth is what you see in the programs where they show you South America and Mexico and those places. So I'm just saying, man, I'm not taking it away from anyone who's still.
Places are like we're talking about places that like I would say less developed. But when you're talking about the industry, on just to make that analogy fit, yeah.
I know I'm winding you up, Brad. Like I completely understand.
Oh man, I was on there, bro. You did a good job, man.
It was a good analogy. It's a good analogy, and you are right to keep up with and keeping up with the times. And I think that's also a big thing to take forward, because I was actually watching. Because I'm doing radio again now for Loud Bass One with a collaboration with IAmHipHop on this particular show, the Real Vibe Show, which I've been spinning your tracks on as well. And I'll give you always, man. I need to upload the latest one after this is done as well. But I was going back to some of my old videos because my cousin used to film little clips of me when I was doing radio, and he also filmed my very first kind of official big interview with Sean Price, The Rock, Helter Skelter. In fact, we was talking about Helter Skelter on the last episode as well. And there's a section of it where you got like Tech and you have Rock and even Price. And I say to them, what advice do you have to give to a young, inspiring artist that's trying to make it? I know it's kind of one of those corny questions. This is a question I try to avoid now because the reactions are always varied, but they gave some really good advice. And one of the biggest ones to take away from it is not everybody can be a rapper. And I think this is where, when we're talking about how music is where people need to find out where they fit in, because music is, especially in music business, there are loads of roles. There's different things that people can do and can contribute. I love DJing. And the proof of that, we've had some crazy parties and created stories and memories for people, like mad parties. And otherwise, then I play other people's music because I know that I've got more of a confidence to go out and go and do these things. But there's loads to do, A&Rs, PR, people who really just, even for people who even know how to handle your social media and how to kind of really get you out there now. So I think this is where
such a huge aspect of it.
Exactly. So having a team and people you can trust, or even just build trust and making those mistakes. There's always going to be a chance that someone's going to go and do something. Let's just be honest, like not sugarcoat it. Just the way of the world.
It's facts.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because when you were saying the old head was sending you a CD, I'm thinking in your head, you don't got a Spotify? You don't got
literally like at least the SoundCloud, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is that I would actually go and listen to it, but I don't have a CD player, bro. Like, what am I gonna do with this? What? Bro, the last time I saw a CD player that was attached to my laptop was like a decade ago. That's being real. You know what I mean?
I mainly work off a desktop, so I've always gonna have a CD or DVD or Blu-ray drive. But even then, I have to go. I'd still wouldn't just listen to. I would down rip the CD and put it on an MP3, and then then put it on my phone or wherever I'm listening to,
right?
And listening to it that way. So either way, yeah. But this is what I think is quite funny, because these things, there's a high chance it's going to come around. Like the way that vinyl is eternal to me. There's just always going to have that vibe. As a DJ, it's definitely not having to carry around crates all the time with every single track. Because you can imagine me doing the parties that we did with the plethora of music that I had and having to bring them all down in record crates. It'll take me just as much time freaking setting up and getting my things down as it would to do the set. But that goes out to the struggle. But funny enough, maybe potentially in the future, CDs will become that in kind of retro vibe feel. You never kind of know. But in a sense of marketing and going forward, yeah, like, it is. It is.
Like I feel like if you're trying to get yourself out there, it's like, if I want you to buy something, I'm not gonna make it more difficult for you to buy. Like, nah, I'm gonna make it easier so you can go there. Like, no, don't worry about it. I will bring you this served, well-balanced food of platter to you, my friend. Don't worry about it. Kick your feet up, chill. It's all right. Would you like champagne, beer, water? What you got? I got you. You know what I'm saying? And just make it as easy, like.
But let's
I'm
say
behind
you.
you.
Did, let's say
that's
you did.
That's what I said. We were lazy.
You buy the CD, you get it home, you play it, and it's a blank CD. You'd be mad.
And worst thing is, you can find this guy again, because he obviously doesn't have any online presence. Kind of complain is like, it's like, bruh, for real. But let's get a bit more back into you and your body of work as well, because these are the conversations I love. But we are here to interview you as well. Son of Poseidon, your 2019 album release. How did that all come together?
Okay, so there was a tape before that. I had a concept called In the Mind of Me, and it was supposed to be a tape where I'm having an interview with myself, and like within the interview they go into like different sort of topics, but I kind of scrapped it, and whatever the gems that I took from that, I put it into Son of Poseidon, and it's a concept tape, and the concept is me with myself. And we're sitting playing Nintendo. I'm like roasting myself, but it's a different character. And I have a package, and the package is a radio that can play any frequency around a certain quadrant of the galaxy. So now I also have like a shuttle downstairs and where I'm living. So we go towards the shuttle, and we're heading towards Atlantis. So whilst we're driving through Atlantis, I'm playing different radio stations, and that's the whole tape. So but yeah,
because that kind of remind me of like Grand Theft Auto, not like but I'm just saying, just driving and you turn to the different radio station, you hear a different sound. So I like that. That's dope.
Nice. Yeah, that's a feel that I wanted to go for, more or less. Like you just flicking through the radio station, but also showing a bit of my personality, a bit of what I can do, like different range and taste, and not to say that there were different range in regards to the genre, but different styles. Like each song has is resides within its own space, and I want it to be random, as completely random as possible.
And it's dope because it kind of remind me of I don't know if you listen to him, but I'm a big fan of his, and I love that album he came out with a couple of years ago. Open My Eagle. He has an album called Dark Comedy, and it kind of had that same vibe because it's like he's not taking himself serious. It's like a comedy show, and he touched on different things, and it kind of felt that same vibe. That's why I'm feeling it. It's real dope, especially the Chronicle of Poseidon. I like it. That was a dope little dope storytelling on that.
Appreciate it. Is that on the SoundCloud one?
Yeah, the SoundCloud. Yep.
Yeah. That was my boy brought me he let me listen to Israel.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, I need to do a version of this. And I'm big on lores, You know, like I create mangas or creating or trying to create a manga, I should say. And I like just creating different lores. Like every one of my characters, they have a backstory, and I like looking at what society at what point in time, like why is your lore like this, and why is that similar to like this kind of stuff, and just seeing like the chain between them. So I try to fit as much of that sort of ethos within that song.
That's dope, and it came out dope, man. Like I said, I was bumping it yesterday to SoundCloud, and it's dope. Especially, I know that wasn't on the album, but the
It's still
Nursery
related to it in a sense.
Okay, the Nursery Rewire joint. Talk about that. The Nursery Rewire.
Yeah, my chilling colors. So my boy came to my house. This is like I want to say the song. The song was old as hell because I think we did in like 2014, 2015,
right?
And yeah, 2014, and because I was still in Birmingham, and he just came, just had this crazy beat, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, I don't even want words on a track. I just want a feeling, and I want it to be this loud, rambunctious, I don't give a f, you know, but still like, let me show you my weird, creepy side and be randomly, but also still making sense. And so it's like my old chilling colors, my dark nursery rhyme. Like that's what like one of the first bars, like my queen bee got the illest perky double pairs. I'm swinging from a honeycomb chandelier. The copper look like cornflakes. I hope the band pays a bunch of blind rappers. City's house done got no room for stairs, apples and pears. You know, so it's just random shit.
No, that's cold, man.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna, because also tapping into your music as well, because you're very intricate with the way that you rhyme, and you take a lot of precision and care in how you actually construct your verses, which really does come across well, and the delivery's always been on point, at least from what I'm listening to. So who are your musical influences, and then you know how you kind of construct a rhyme without giving away too much of your trade secrets or nothing, but just the process. I'm interested in that.
Let's start with the process, and I'll like break into who I feel all my influences. The way that I write, like, is very weird. So say I would have the beginning and the ending, and I would write like a few lines, and I'm like, okay, cool. I know where this is going, but I don't know how to get there yet. But I know where it leads up. So I'll then write something like at the bottom, and cool. Then I'm just trying to like pick apart the story, like really break it down into scenes, and I have everything has to flow in with each other, but at the same time being dynamic in regards to the cadence and stuff like that. So that's one way how I would develop a track. Or if I just have no lyrics at all and it's got this flow, I will phonetically mumble a flow, and then whatever words I think I said, that's the word that I'll fit in there as well. So that's like my cheap pocket when I'm like too lazy to actually think about what I want to write about. So, let me just mumble something, just go back to it. But
and then my your influences.
Yeah. Jay, Eminem, Method Man, Andre 3 Stacks. And also Jimmy.
Yes. Jimmy.
Yeah. Mr. Hendrix. Because that's what I was gonna leak into before we get into the new stuff and a couple of your singles like Flipside. And I love Poseidon's Plight as well. Definitely one of my favorites of the Son of Poseidon. Band. I mean, there's not very many rappers, or because I mean you're kind of a bit multi-talented because you sing as well as rap, so you're like a double threat. Like my boy Crisis as well, who's more funny enough, as he says, he's more of an R&B, he's more of like a R&B soul kind of singer more than he is a rapper, but it just kind of works. So band, why? What made you decide that that's gonna be my sound, even though it's amazing?
The band was an afterthought, to be honest. The people that are in the band, we were already friends. Like we already knew of each other for like years. The band came about when we had the opportunity to do the tour, because a year prior, Kiwi Pips, the guitarist. Sorry, he was in the he did a tour by himself. So the next time I came around, he was like, "Yo, we have songs that we've created already. Like we jammed already. Like why not just do it? Let's do this tour." So that's how the band came about.
That's dope. And it goes back to everyone plays their role. And,
Yeah,
we create this dope sound.
yeah, man. But it the relationship is so crazy because we would know where each other are going without even having to say it. Like there's times, so people probably would like the ones that have the inside know, but our whole tour, about 60% of our songs are freestyle. Yeah, so we would have like a certain hook and a motif, but like it was like all right, cool, because every time that we sang it was a freestyle. The song was created during the freestyle, so when we play, it's like all right, cool. I just keep to the same ethos, but I don't whatever words you hear today, you probably won't hear them again. Yeah, so yeah, so but then that goes into just how close everyone are and how trusting everyone is as well too, because we was living in a van with like 5 people for 4 months. Yeah. Yeah.
That's that road musician lifestyle. Not many people know or get to experience that for real.
So you don't have to give any names, but who was the one that was like the worst snorer? Where you couldn't go to sleep? Like you felt like you want to
are you trying to break up the band already? Is that what you guys out here doing? I want to know. I'm just saying.
I won't say his name, but he can who he is. I wouldn't out him like that. But Snake Tattoo. Sorry, boy. But yeah. But when he's drunk, oh my god, bro, hibernating bear. It's mad. I would have to get like a tissue and like kind of just wet it, and it's like bro, he wake up dead. I swear to God.
Well, I'm kind of fortunate because I've had quite a few snorers in my household during my time, so you kind of get. I guess in some ways it's just like I helped me go to sleep. I didn't be like I know this. I know this is bad. And also I forgot to say earlier as well. Shout out to Teta, and that's Eric who was chatting about before. Amazing, yeah, amazing guy. Always got everyone's best interest at heart, and also shout out to the rest of the IAmHipHop. To the hip hop only gang as well, and TV and comic fiends all day, every day. So before we get into the other sides of creativity, let's break down three singles that you released through 2020, which was COVID-19, one of my bad wicked track, Dance All Night, and then Said Love, which Said Love is I play that, as most people will know if you're listening to the show as well. Bruh, through that whole crazy time situation, you managed to bring out 3 great, interesting, unique singles as per usual.
Thank you.
Process, man. Break them down for us.
Let's start with COVID-19. As the name suggests, I was talking about COVID covertly. And so it was like the way that how it was just feeling like I opened this song. I'm feeling like rolling around the city. So tell me if you're really down. Some people trying to stop it, but baby, we are citizens. Cause I ain't got no time to be indecisive. So it just kind of felt like we was going through this weird dystopic feeling, bro, at time where you can't touch anybody. Like even if someone did you a deed, like, oh, okay, all right, cool. And you can't leave your house. I don't want to go as far as saying like it's prison, because that's crazy. Like prison is prison. Like you being trapped in your house, like you still got an internet, bro. Like you're cool. Like you could leave. But it just that feeling of not being able to go to a restaurant to eat, not being able to fly really, when you're really not from this country, and not being able to see your friends, your family, like people that you really want to go and like check up on and stuff like that. So it's just getting tired of it. So let me just put something out there, but I don't really want to be political, but here's some of my thoughts and break it down how you want to be.
Sick. Then Dance All Night, completely different. Because that's another thing when you listen to your music, you can hear the multitude of influences that you had. So crack on, man. Dance All Night, man.
Yeah, man.
That came about through a jam. To be honest, we was just in room. Shout out to Tony Starks. We was in his room, and he has like, pretty much a studio set up. And I forgot who was on the bass or either. Nah, he made an instrumental. Sorry, he made an instrumental, and I started humming something. And then I was like, what am I feeling like? What do I want to do? I just want to dance. Like, hey, I can dance and dance all night. This groove gonna get me right. And Lee was there with me as well. So we all are just singing this one hook over and over again. Like, yo, let's put something to it. So there wasn't really much thought behind that song. In a sense, it was just pure feeling. Like just a vibe that we were on. Everyone just caught the same wave at the same time. It was like, yo, let's be in this space, and just try to make like a feel good song. Like every time you hear, like, I want you to feel like you want to hit a dance floor, even if it's just in your kitchen and you got some socks on, you can still scared about moonwalking at. So just wanted to kind of like just have that a song that's gonna make you happy. Like, are you down? You having a rough day? Just play that song, and I'm guaranteed probably feel better.
Nice and well delivered. Well delivered. I'll say mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And now said love.
Yeah. Said love. So love is actually about drugs or intoxication. Okay. Yeah. So
I feel about that song now, man. No, go on, no. Seriously.
So like it obviously other concepts came as an afterthought, but I always loved when an artist would personify an object, like Nas with the gun, and so it's like I want to kind of have that sort of aspect to it, where I'm talking about certain things without having to go fully in mentioning it. And even in a sense of, even if it's not a drug, like love can still be a drug, because it could be like a toxic love, because that's still love in a sense, and it's just toxic. It might not be good for you. And so it's like I was just kind of like trying to have that sort of aspect to it. And my boy made the beat, and when I heard it, I just felt like this boom bap kind of space. And me being an 80s baby, 90s kid, I was like, yo, I could easily just jump on this. Like, but crazy story about that song, though. If it wasn't for my boy Craig, I don't think anyone would have heard that song. At least not for a while. I forgot that I made it. Yeah. I completely forgot that song was even ever existed. Like, he was like, yo, where's that love song that I'm like, are you gonna have to be a little bit more specific than that? So he was like, so she want love is what you want. I'm like, I forgot we even did that song. So shouts out to Craig, appreciate you holding it down.
Thank you, Craig. And also make sure in future as well, you make sure you knock his head for everything, because you're not going to allow things like that slip through the cracks, bro. That's an excusable behavior, Mr. LaFunk.
Man, because I'll be getting to work, man. I'll be spacing now and scatterbrain in that.
Excuses. It's fine. We all have them.
You can't do that with that joint, man.
Yeah. I was surprised you even forgot it, because that song, I did that song in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's lost to the test. That's tested for time as well, to be honest with you. So this is a thing. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. Make sure your music is timeless, because it's all good having one hit. But I think, who is it that said it? It's like, if you can make yourself have I may even be Ish, and might have said this as well recently. But if you make one hit and then you have to live with that for the rest of your life, it's never going anywhere. That's always going to be that one tune or single that's going to represent you. And if you've done that just to go chase that funny little buck, And then however many years later, now you're sitting back listening to it like, oh my god, that was me.
Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, I be saying stuff like that all the time, and I be forgetting.
Uh-huh.
Well, it might be you, or it might be BJG. I remember someone said it, just definitely said it recently, and now all of a sudden we're getting a bit of an echo. Right. So just to tie it up, then, your other creative interests.
There's so many.
I'm specifically leading towards the art, but you can
like
paint
drawing.
a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to get back into like drawing seriously because I used to draw as a kid, but it wasn't anything that I would say I really practiced that. And it was like my uncle draws, mom draws, like is like so many different family members who've drawn pieces before. So I just kind of saw it as like a talent, you know, and joining that with developing stories and developing lores and creating like whole lives to being an anime head. You know, I'm addicted to anime. You know, I'll probably say, you know. So, and I wanted to create my own anime, but also have a representation of Black people, Hispanic people, people of color in general, you know, and tell all stories. You know, because I feel like there's a lot of pockets of those where those stories don't get told. So in regards to art, currently I don't want to say too much because there's some stuff that we're working on, and I don't want to reveal like that sort of character as yet because he's still being worked on. But hopefully at some point we will have a manga, and if it runs well, then an anime, you know.
So with this, are you going to start like a Kickstarter to raise the funds, or you got?
Yeah. I do have a Patreon page, but because we're still redefining everything is that I haven't really publicized it because it's not ready as yet. But so Kickstarter was also one of the things that we wanted to look at as well, and just hopefully that people resonate with the music, they resonate with the movement, like the people that we got going on, and everybody's relationship as well, that they resonate enough to support.
And I'm gonna be 100% with you, bro. They exist. The blurred world exists. We're out there. I'm a part of the blurred world. Juju is a part of the blurred world.
Yes, sir.
Made a lot of connects in the blurred world. So if you want to reach out to me behind the scenes, if you need some connections on how to get it promoted, with
dope, man.
Help with advice of doing like a Kickstarter, which way would be a better route for you, just hit me up privately, and I could definitely give you lead you to some resources that can help you build from there.
Oh, for sure.
That's what we do here at the podcast. We do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't interview and that's it. You're part of the family.
We've got some proper aftercare services out here in this business. we look after our own, man. We look after
hospitality on point. I feel it.
So what we now? Planned Parenthood? What are you saying?
What do you mean Planned Parenthood? Bro, be careful with some of the stuff that goes in your mouth. You're gonna legitimately have people saying, "Are you my daddy?" No.
That is funny.
No.
We kind of look alike though, huh?
Right?
Yeah. That's the last excuse that you want. You know what I'm saying? We got the same eyes. Everybody has eyes. Everybody has eyes.
Oh my goodness!
But what can we expect? What can we expect for Frank LaFunk going forward?
A lot. I definitely want to get back into swimming at some point, and hopefully, like, because I really hate that stereotype Black people can't swim, and being born in the Caribbean and was an ocean lifeguard as well. Take high offense. But a lot musically. I'm not gonna release any album as yet because, like, even with the Son of Poseidon, I kind of consider that as an EP. I don't think I'm ready I don't think I'm at the stage where I want to say this is my first album. So just gonna keep releasing songs and showing my range until then. And then when we get to that point where I'm like, this is my album, I can proudly say, cool, like this is my first like actual album, and I put everything in my heart and soul into this.
Dope.
You know what? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? We should do a collaboration. Because don't laugh at me. I was going to create a story.
Okay.
And the story was the name of the title was gonna be Samuari Mermaid.
I like it. Yeah. I'm biased because like samurai. You already got me. Mermaid. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Just
and black women.
Let's go.
The black women from the Caribbean.
Now you're borderline in here with me, Ishmael. You really borderline. Borderline with me, bro. You're because no, you didn't have to bring in the Caribbean. Samurai Mermaids from the Caribbean. You're asking to get your ass cussed out, aren't you? And I bring our time with you.
That would kind of be ill though. I think that kind of be ill.
I could work with it. I could work with it.
Ninja Turtle. Come on, man. Teenage
Ninja Turtle.
But
rat.
But toxic waste would do that to you, man. Like what that
is a good point.
That's
you know what I'm saying. Whatever that genetic stuff was, they took
in the ocean anyway. So I'm just saying, you could be creative with it.
Okay, do you know what? All right, cool. Let's see what happens with this. And boy, we might as well ride this until the wheels fall off. Then,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, legit. So if we're gonna go, we might as well go hard. Like,
dude.
Don't sue us for using that either. So, all right. Well, thanks very much for your time today, there, Mr. LaFunk. Looking forward to all of your new singles. Make sure, as per usual, you send me them exclusives so I can get them spinning.
Yeah, man.
You know I'm always here for you, and we're working together anyways on the art side of things and pushing forward into that NFT game.
Yes,
so we're definitely gonna be going to places. So if you tune into this very moment in time, remember, like, comment, subscribe. I need to remember to do this early on in the video, but it should just be mandatory. You hear me? It's not like we're putting out any doo-doo. This is the best stuff that you could potentially listen to. And there's loads of podcasts out there, and I'm brave enough to say. Also, we're going to be rebranding soon as well, making it easy for you to find us. And we're always going to be here supporting. So peace, love, and all that good stuff. We'll see you guys again soon. Peace.
Peace, man.
Samuari Mermaid coming.
At this point, we might as well. We got a Samurai Mermaid. Whatever foolishness I can think of here. I'm like, it comes to this, and then we're gonna have Cyborg Griffiths. Press whatever's, and it's gonna be some cyborg stuff, and let's go figure it out. Anyways, till we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Dracula.
Or Kung Fu. So Kung Fu werewolves. So I know that's gonna upset someone in China.